Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to Balance Muse. And today I have just a quick little video here on an update that's recently happened within the real estate market having to do with crypto being used for collateral for your home loans. So I'll just go ahead and read this article that I have here from Forbes. In a systemic shift for U.S. housing policy, the Federal Housing Finance Agency has ordered Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to find ways to treat cryptocurrency as a legitimate reserve asset in mortgage risk assessments. And this was signed into effect on June 25th, 2025 by the FHFA Director William J. Pulte. And this means that Bitcoin and a short list of compliant crypto holdings could soon help borrowers qualify for conventional home loans without converting their assets into dollars. So for those of you who are looking to buy a home or purchase any real estate and you're thinking, it's just not affordable, this is really good news if you were already holding Bitcoin. And I know some of you out there are, but also thinking of it this way, as it removes a major barrier. There's no more liquidating your assets. So there's no more of selling off your Bitcoin and then triggering a capital gains tax. And then crypto is now being treated more like cash or treasuries in home buying, which is really great to hear. Also, why it matters the most for investors is this is a new pathway for wealth building. A lot of times I'm seeing in the comments that people are like, well, I can't buy a whole Bitcoin. That's fair. I can't buy a whole Bitcoin right now either. However, you can start, because if it counts as collateral and you don't have to sell it in order to transfer it into fiat currency, then stacking now as it appreciates is one of the best ways to build your wealth while you're working, while you're getting other income. It has something that you can build over time. There are calls that Bitcoin could probably go to maybe $1 million in 4 years. So this, could fast track you or help you leap over the major hurdle of having something that is going to depreciate in value, and you have to work harder and harder in order to save up dollars to have that collateral that you need for a home, as opposed to having Bitcoin do the hard work for you, and you work for Bitcoin, save up your collateral, and then you can have that for purchasing real estate. So if you don't have a credit history, that doesn't really matter, because the crypto holdings are going to mean it's a stronger financial profile. And this is a game changer especially for women who tend to make less dollars than the average man. This can help you to fill in that gap. So I really am certainly excited of why this is really going to help. So sovereign assets, sovereign homes. Crypto isn't just currency, it's now collateral. So the key points: only crypto held on U.S. regulated exchanges qualifies. This is not self-custody wallets. Even though I am a firm proponent of not your keys, not your coins, you should have some of your Bitcoin in your own personal cold storage wallet. I am not of the opinion that you should only have it on your cold wallet. I found that, it's best to keep it in several different places so that you don't end up losing some, or one gets hacked or an exchange gets hacked. There's nothing wrong, I would think, of keeping some things on an exchange, but just having other options besides just that. And for those who want to be able to cash in on this mortgage collateral, then the only place you can do it at this point is through a crypto exchange. So Coinbase, Gemini, Kraken, these are regulated U.S. exchanges that you can hold your asset and qualify for these loans. Okay, so this also paves the way for tokenized real estate and AI-powered mortgage approvals. Now this is really exciting. Okay, so tokenized real estate, they've already had some tokenized real estate assets in the crypto market. It's just not very widely known or widely used at this time. but I've seen some in practice. So there's already been a woman, I believe, who had sold her home, tokenized it, and then sold off shares. So it's possible. They've already tested it. It's going to be coming more as a rollout. And just think of it as you can own a tokenized piece of a real estate and not the whole thing. So you could live in a town in California and then buy real estate in New York City, and you can buy $5 worth, $2 worth. Now, I know that we have things like Fundrise, which allows you to buy a smaller portion, but I think there's a minimum for that kind of real estate investing. And of course, there's always REITs, which is around the same thing, but it might cut out some of the middleman as opposed to just having the tokenized asset yourself. They are bringing that into the mix, so it's on the way. And now you can start researching how to verify, store, and leverage your crypto to build wealth. Now is always the time, because you're not late, but the door is quickly closing as more institutions, more banks, more people like BlackRock, or companies like BlackRock, more sovereign wealth nations, more governments. They are either mining their own Bitcoin, or they're buying Bitcoin and storing it and holding it for the long term. As the dollar is depreciating, as there's more inflation, as other countries are deciding they cannot necessarily trust that the dollar is going to be worth what it is now, and they don't want to hold dollar assets, or they want to de-dollarize, they're looking for avenues of safety. And gold has historically been the avenue of safety, but Bitcoin, I believe, and many others believe, is the avenue of safety for the future. So it's that story of digital gold does hold. It may become a medium of exchange, but this is still really good information, especially for those who are looking to buy a home and the home costs are just out of your reach. The costs will start to come down in terms of Bitcoin. So now is the best time to start thinking about your assets in terms of Bitcoin, not dollars. All right, so that was just a quick little update I wanted to bring to you guys. Of course, don't just trust what I say. Go out and do your own research and find out these things that are going on. There's changes that are happening that I'm so glad to see. So that was it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.